In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus tells this story. He says that there was a man walking down from Jerusalem to Jericho on the road between Jerusalem and Jericho, and I'm actually on that road right now. And it just kind of follows this hillside. It's not easy, it's not steep, it's a lot of up and down. But as you can see behind me, it's a pretty rugged country out here. And so we stick to the hills so that we don't fall down in those canyons. And he says there was a man walking on the road down from Jerusalem to Jericho. And he was come upon by robbers who beat him, stripped him, left him half dead on the side of the road. Which, that wouldn't take much. I'm standing up here and there's a cliff to this side, there's a cliff in front of me. All it would take is someone coming by on an animal slightly faster than you with one big push, one big shove, and suddenly you're not walking anymore. And you're lying down on the side of the hill beside the road. And so this guy's laying there, and it says, and as it happened, a priest was coming by. Sees this guy half dead on the side of the road. It says this priest came by, saw him, walked by on the other side. Which, this road's not super wide. To walk by on the other side would have been either going all the way across those canyons, or, just avoiding the man and taking a 2-3 steps towards the right, because that's all the space you got. After the priest, it says there was a Levite, okay? And Levites are of the line of priests, so another holy man. And it says he saw the guy lying on the side of the road and walked by on the other side. The priest, the Levite, the two holy people of Israel, they ignore this guy. They think he's gone. They don't want to have anything to do with it. And then Jesus says something interesting. He says, and a Samaritan came by and saw the man, picked him up, treated his wounds, put him on his donkey, took him to a nearby inn where he paid the innkeeper to look after him and said, if you need anything else, let me know and I'll pay you more. I'll pay for all the expenses. Samaritans and Jews didn't have a great relationship. They were considered enemies. Many of the Jews at this time, Rome was kind of in control. Many of the Jews actually didn't mind the Romans as much as they hated the Samaritans. So the fact that a Samaritan, one, stops to help a Jewish man in this wilderness is pretty intense. It's a pretty radical claim that Jesus is making. It's a pretty radical statement. Another thing is, Samaria isn't around here. Samaria is way up that way. And there would be no reason for a Samaritan to come down here on the road between Jerusalem and Jericho. So this Samaritan isn't even in the right place for Samaritans to be. But this is the guy that Jesus says is helping. And Jesus is telling this story. He's talking to people. He's talking to a teacher of the law who had asked him, the law says to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and to love your neighbor as yourself. But who is my neighbor? Who am I supposed to love? And Jesus answers by telling this story. And then he asks the teacher of the law, he asks him, so which one of these three, the priest, the Levite, and the Samaritan, acted as a neighbor? And the teacher of the law says, the guy who showed compassion. He can't even bring himself to say the word Samaritan, the one who showed compassion. And Jesus says, now you go and do likewise. Now just think about that. I'm going to stop here. I'm in this rugged, desolate landscape where the only real travelable road is following this hillside. And Jesus is saying, I want you to love other people in a way where if you come across your worst enemy and they're lying half dead on the side of a road beside a cliff, that you have enough compassion to help him, even though he may not like you, even though he may not like you back, even though they might hate you. You see, we're called to love people. All people are God's creation. And while we may disagree with people on a wide variety of issues, while we may be angered by what some people do, we're called to love everyone, from our closest friend to our worst enemy. And if we see someone lying here on the side of a road where there's known robberies and there's known attacks on people, then we're supposed to help pick them up and make sure they get back home safe. And so I want you to consider that. I want you to think about what it means to love our neighbors in a landscape where there's not much love to go around. Hey everyone, I hope you liked that video. If you did, hit the like button. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to stay notified about when I post more videos in the future, hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe button. You can also follow me in my journeys through Israel at my blog, daltonwilliams.net, or by following me on Facebook at Dalton Reads the Bible. Links to all of that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.